One-foot-flipper.
Hey, how's it going? Paige here, the 1 foot flipper. It's another car video. This time I'm not driving around. I hope everybody can hear me. It seems like about 5% of people have a serious problem hearing me in my car videos, while everybody else can hear me fine. I can seem to hear my car videos just fine on any device I'm listening to. So if you cannot hear me, then you won't be able to answer this, but I'm going to put it up on the screen. If you can't hear me, please text, let me know what you're listening to on so I can try to figure this out. Because everybody else seems to hear me just fine. I know J-Ride says he can't hear me. A couple other people said they can't hear me, but everybody else seems to. So at the orthodontist, waiting on the kid again. That seems like a pretty constant thing. Wish my parents would have had money to get my teeth fixed. That would have been nice. I'm missing a few, but not the only reseller who's missing a few teeth out there. There's quite a few of them. If you know any resellers who are missing teeth, why don't you post that in the comments? I'll probably edit that one out. Fox Hunter stopped by earlier. He dropped off some Warhammer stuff and some Bionicles and a couple of weird things that I'll probably give back to him, like a giant wok in the box, but it's super old, and a air purifier that's also equally old. Those will probably be dead weight, so I'll probably send those back, but the other things ought to be decent. Sales still in the toilet, but it's July. July is always my worst month of the year, and I'm not trying that hard. I'm still living the half-time reseller life, half-time YouTube. Way too much time playing the same darn video game, way too much time checking Facebook, way too much time checking my YouTube stats. I need to cut that out, because it doesn't matter if I got 3 more views or not. Love to get 3 more views, but it doesn't matter if I did. I don't need to know it every time. Hey everybody, it's Tuesday. Tuesday always gets me sidetracked with trash to cash, and this is my second District Commons thing. Just came in. Box is kind of destroyed. It says received in damaged condition. Let's hope, but it's hats, so they could still be perfectly okay. Let's hope they are. Let's hope that they're all in here and that everything will be okay. Alright, it's looking like I got a box full of hats here, so it's looking good. Anybody can have a box issue, so I'm not mad at that. Wildwood, New Jersey, number 1. Ginger Mountain, number 2. It probably does not say Ginger Mountain. Racing, number 3. Jerry Satellites, number 4. Trucking, number 5. Dollywood, number 6. True Value, number 7. These hats do all have a smell to them, though. Overwork Underpaid, 7. Apprenticeship Program, number 8. 9. Bourbon Poorhouse, 10. Yamaha, number 11. I think perhaps one hat fell out. Get the box. Let's go check on my listing. Let's go check on the listing and see. I'm bad at counting. There were 12 hats in there. I'm gonna have to rub some dryer sheets on them though to get them smelling a little bit better, but overall, not bad. I had a much lower cost per hat on that one. I think it was only $2 ship cost per hat on that, so I'm not mad. Not at all. That Yamaha hat is awesome. So the other day, I was supposed to meet my friend Amy at her storage unit because I'd gone over her last stuff I got for her, figured out how much money she was going to get. I wanted to pay her off because I don't see her on a day-to-day basis, and she said she'd have some Pokemon cards for me too. Pokemon cards turned out to be junk. You know, she said she had an S-ton, and everybody's idea of that is completely different. You know, I've purchased 80,000 cards at a time before. That's an S-ton to me. However, in her case, it was like 800 cards, none of which were more than about 4 years old. It was a children's collection. I haven't actually gone through it, but I don't have high hopes that there's anything of value in there, but I was able to pay her off. But the good for the previous buy. But funny thing is, I get there right on time because I'm a very on-time person. Amy's not always an on-time person, but about 2 minutes before I'm supposed to meet her there, white truck, thin blonde woman driving, pulls up to the gate. Hey, Amy is a thin blonde woman with a white truck. I pull right behind it and I ease in right. I go through the gate right behind her. She parks. I pull up next to her, roll down my window, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's not Amy. I just followed some woman into the storage unit at night when it's dark and pulled up next to her. And I was like, oh my goodness, I am so sorry. You are the wrong person. All right, let's do some sales here. I sold 2 games for the Sega CD system, you know, that add-on for the Genesis. One of the many add-ons for the Genesis. There's another called the 32X, and then you could also have games that required both the 32X and the Sega CD. Sold Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, no manual, and Joe Montana's NFL Football, no manual. $16.19 plus shipping. I could possibly lose $1 on shipping on these because these boxes are rather fragile, and I got $6.99 on shipping, and this might end up going to 2 pounds. So depending on where it's going, but I'm still okay with that. That buy paid for itself a long time ago. Now, let's talk about this. The Pathfinder Skull and Shackles game base set with Wormwood Mutiny Adventure Deck. Never have I seen something so creatively and desperately pushed as this game. I remember when the Pathfinder adventure card game came out, there was a group of ambassadors or employees or something that came to the game store every Wednesday night and played this game. And these were carefully selected people. For what I remember, of the group of 4, 3 of them were attractive young lady, an attractive and diverse group of 3 young ladies, but none of them were too attractive, if you know what I mean. If the girl's too pretty, you're going to scare the nerds off. No, they picked them pretty, but not too pretty to scare the nerds off. And they were there playing this game every week for months. Still never caught on. This big old thing, probably $50 MSRP with an add-on, sold for $7.16, and it took me months to sell it. So, you might say to me, Paige, I'm tired of this reselling game. I can't do it. I want out. I made more money when I was a trial lawyer. I don't know why I ever quit being a veterinarian to sell Beanie Babies on the internet. It's not working out for me, and I want out. How can I do it without leaving my house full of all this stuff or just throwing all my investment away? Well, I'm going to tell you how you can do it, but before I do, I'm going to tell you about this next sale. This is a 4-inch teacup. This is a 4-inch teacup saucer. It's red and white. It's boring looking. It's been in my store for years. It sold for $4.28. Okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to your eBay, and first thing you do, you need to strip out all of your free shipping. Because if you leave your free shipping on, when you do this, you're gonna lose more money than ADH Dave spends at theme parks in a year. You will not be happy. You're going to strip out all your free shipping one way or another. You can look at other videos on how to best do that, but you got to get rid of free shipping. Sold this amazing Maze Ravensburger game for $13.10. I have another one of these in stock. Then, after you get rid of your free shipping, what you're going to do is going to go ahead, use a little search on your own items and pick everything in your store that cost more than $2. You're going to load those into the bulk editor. You're going to reduce the price on all those items by 5% with minimum price $2. And go ahead and submit that. 5%, that's not going to do crap. Oster replacement power griddle cord, $16.95. Note that once you figure the shipping, these cords sell for more than the complete units do. So when you're at the bins, leave the unit behind, just get the cord. Yeah, 5% isn't going to do anything, but you're going to do it every day for a month. the additive value of that ends up being, at the end, an 80% discount in your store. You are going to sell everything in your store that anybody ever wanted in 1 month. The only reason you're doing that $2 minimum is because you're going to be shipping so many items, you cannot be wasting time sending out items at less than $2. You're better off. You're gonna need that time to ship out items for more money. Then at the end of that month, whatever's left, delist it, load it all up in the van, bring it to Goodwill, and give it back to them. Then you're done. You're out. You don't have to resell anymore. You can go back to being a pediatrician and not sell used PlayStation games for 99 cents free ship. You probably liked being a pediatrician more anyway, didn't you? Probably had better health insurance. But what you didn't have as a pediatrician is Barbie for the Xbox 360, Horse Adventures, $32. Now, one thing I've noticed is if this had been a game for one of the handhelds, this game would be worthless and unsellable. But child games for the full-size systems, especially the original Xbox, are far more valuable because there just weren't many of them. They didn't sell well. Not a lot of little girls got an Xbox. When it came out, the buyer age demographic skewed much higher than it did for the PlayStation or the Nintendo. So your completionist end up paying a lot more for this game, even though they're never going to play it. Now, you could also use that 30-day, 5% everyday sale if you just want to start over. If you're like, I've had this store for years, it's rotted, everything, I don't know if there's anything good left, I don't know what to do with it, I just want to start over. You can do the same thing. Everything gone in 1 month. Unlike this Mighty Max Trapped in Skull Mountain Castle playset, sold for $8.34, and since it was wrapped in plastic when I pulled it out of the tub, it meant that we've had this approximately 2.5 years since we started putting stuff in the basement, because my wife liked to wrap stuff in plastic when we started. If I had noticed that I still had this thing, I probably would have kept this to be a D&D prop. I would have repainted it so it didn't look like a toy, would have repainted it to look, scary, and I would have kept it, but I didn't realize I still had the thing. Sold another Talisman Woodland expansion, $26.19, going over to Europe where the Talisman games are much more popular. And since I did charge ground advantage shipping, and I think I live in the same zone, I don't live in the same zone, but I live in a very close zone to the international shipping hub, so I'm going to make money on the shipping on this for sure. Oh, and I figured out what's going on. Apparently there's going to be a new version of the Talisman game, so they're not shipping out old versions, and thus the old versions are becoming harder and harder to find brand new. I learned that because there's a Talisman PC game, which, by the way, much cheaper than the physical game, and it has sports multiplayer, so you can just buy that. And it had announcements about the new upcoming version of Talisman, and that's how I knew about it. All right, I guess that's all the sales I've got for today. Oh, no, there was one more. Fox Hunter came by in person, saw him today. He said, I want both the Metal Gear Solid games you have in your store. I'll pay you cash. And I said, okay. Well, I wasn't going downstairs at the time because I didn't have time to do it, so I pulled them for him now. And Fox Hunter, if you're watching, well, you can come get your games now. He's not watching, though. Fox Hunter doesn't like social media.
See, that's One Foot Flipper's nonsense video.